barricades, whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood. Blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall. One wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All righty, everybody. It is another edition of Crimes After Dark on a, what the hell is this, Monday night? I think it's Monday night. I'm pretty sure it's Monday night. Yeah, okay. It's Monday night. Our panel's a little light today, so it's a good opportunity for you to come up on stage with us if you'd like to. So, Robin, if you would, while you're waiting backstage, if you can send a link out to people that might be able to join if they'd like. Great opportunity to come up and say a few words, ask a question. We'll probably answer a couple of your questions, and then we'll move to another person or whatever the case may be. But if you want to do that, tonight's a great night to do it because we don't have a full panel. I believe Logan's feeling a little under the weather, so she's not going to be here tonight, but she said she's going to make every effort to be here tomorrow night. JJ is going to be, again, now we said this earlier, JJ's working on getting his own State of the Deep channel up and running, and so he's going to be taking a few extra nights off to try to prep that and get that launched, and so we won't see him as much. I think we get to see him tomorrow night. I think we get to see JJ tomorrow night. And did I say JJ will be back on Friday? Yeah, my scrolling thing says JJ will be back on Friday. I think we actually get JJ tomorrow night, as well as maybe Friday and Saturday, depending on if he has gigs. So just to let you know, in case you're wondering, what the hell's happening to DA's panel? Are they all falling apart? No, people are sick. But one made it in, even with freaking 2 feet of snow and something in New York or whatever. Anyways, we'll talk about that with the panelists. Let's bring the panel up in the order they are backstage. Dago, you're up first. How you doing this evening?
Whoa.
It's good to see you.
Forget about it. It's great to see you. Welcome back, sir. Great to have you here.
You didn't get any snow where you're at, did you?
Yeah, we got about 3, maybe 4 or 5 inches max. It's not.
I've been told 3 or 4 inches is just not enough.
That's, well, this is my second marriage. I'll just leave it there.
I mean, although I've also been told 2 feet is way too much. So,
again,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Okay, let's move on now. So, anyways, other than that, how was your channel today? Did you have anything special on your show, or?
I did cover. We went over the second Warner body cam video that was put out where he goes back to the scene. We went over that, had a discussion about that kind of stuff. I did find out today that Captain, who is now Chief Anthony Dollinger, has graduated from the the National FBI Academy.
Dallinger went to the FBI Academy. Oh my God. All right. Well, we see where that goes.
I'll show you the press release for it. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Very super interesting.
It's super interesting. You know what? A cynical person would say that's convenient. That's really convenient because as we want to try to cover up what happened in the case, wouldn't it be nice if you had somebody who works for the feds as well?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, and
oh my God, I smell fucker.
I'll talk about it when we get through this. Okay. But yeah, it wasn't recent either. It was. I'll show you the date. That's what's going to be interesting.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to get into that. All right, let's put that on hold for the moment. Let's bring Robin up on stage. Robin, what's going on with you?
Hello. How are you guys?
Wow.
Living the dream.
All right. Same here. Just
even with a good mic, I can't do the whoa. No, I don't have the voice.
Whoa.
I could if I had the mic, because especially in the morning I can sing bass. So
yeah. In the morning I have a better chance at it for sure.
Mama sang bass.
No, in the morning, guys. In the morning, I'm like, I would sound like what's that guy, that singer's name? Hey baby, that guy.
Barry White.
Yeah, I do sound my voice goes whoa, like way down. So yeah.
I love how he got that just from you knowing that guy.
Oh, listen. Before we bring one up, I worked at a help desk for a while, an IT help desk, and one of my better friends on the help desk, they called him Barry White because whenever he would get a female on the phone, his phone would drop 2 or 3 registers and he'd be like, "Hey, can I help you today?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, why do women bring the Barry White out on this guy when the women call into the help desk?"
Oh my gosh.
So
that's hysterical.
Yeah, and I don't think he did it on purpose. Well, I mean, like he didn't do it intentionally. He just would drop his voice when women were on the phone.
As soon as a woman's voice got in his ear, it automatically turned him in a different direction. Yeah.
He became very, "Hey baby, how you doing today?"
Can I help you this evening?
Anyways, it is what it is. Anything special you want to report before we bring one up?
Nope, not just did the work thing. Although he's going to be tired. He spent a long time shoveling today. We only got here in PA. We got about, at least my neck of the woods, we got maybe 3 inches. We had mainly rain, which I think is worse in some ways than snow outside of the shoveling. But yeah, so nothing special today. Although Logan did want me to pass along to everyone that she will be back tomorrow night. She is not feeling well today, and that's why she was not on today. She's okay, but she asked me specifically to pass it along that she will be back tomorrow, and she's just a little under the weather today, so she didn't want.
Yeah, and I understand she was kind of
people.
She was kind of crashing on the show that you guys had on Sunday, kind of crashing mid-show.
Yes,
so yeah,
she was not
really
feeling well last night, and she was very upset because she said, "I did a bunch of research about Diana, and
I know she told me and, so excited about it."
Yeah, so I assured her though we're going to be, working on the Diana case for the next several weeks here, so there'll be plenty of opportunity for her to, to talk about it, and so we'll have a good time. But yeah, I told her I was glad she took some time to take care of herself today. So, but she wanted me to pass that along to her crew. So.
Very, very cool. Well, yeah, and hopefully, we get her back speedy recovery and well. So we're looking forward to that. And yeah, so nothing special going on with you then? No. You're saying, okay. Well, let's bring one up.
Boring.
Whatever. Not everything can be an exciting day. My day wasn't all that exciting myself.
Whoa.
What's up?
Evening. Hello, everyone.
How are you tonight?
Denizens. Oh, I'm great. 4 hours of shoveling snow.
By the way,
I can't curse yet because we're not like 15 minutes in. But
I know we're
10
minutes in. I think we're past that rule. But anyways, I think in Michigan was the first time I had heard about somebody having a heart attack for shoveling snow. I guess it's a thing. Like a lot of people have heart attacks from over shoveling.
It happened. I've had a lot of those calls, to be honest with you. Lots of them.
Yes, because you overheat a lot, you
And
sweat a
overexert.
lot,
Yeah.
and you overexert, and you really
It's a lot.
gotta do
And
it
you keep
slow
pushing
and
yourself because you got to
steady.
finish the driveway, or you got to
Yeah.
finish. So you push yourself more than you should, and
Especially
So
when the
that's
temperatures are high and low, it causes problems there for
so
that
let
as
yeah.
well.
So let me tell you. So let me tell you what happened. So I was waiting and waiting. I was trying to wait till it kind of stopped snowing. I mean, at a certain point, I was gonna have to leave no matter what. So I waited. Finally, the wind is still blowing, but it stopped snowing. I could barely open the front door from the snow drift. So that was fun trying to let my dog in the backyard and then the front. So I spent about 3.5 to 4 hours shoveling, and I still had half my driveway to go. And I was like, this is fucking insane. Now, I don't, with my job, we don't get snow days. There's no such thing as a snow day, and as if you're a first responder. So it's just what it is. When you get there, because there are people here who are stuck at work. So when you get in, you get in. So I'm about halfway done, and my neighbor next door, he's probably about, I think he's retired. He's about 10 to 15 years older than me. He had already shoveled most of the driveway, but he still had a little bit left to go. And he was telling me how he was fighting with the snow plows like all day. So he would,
like,
so the hardest
uncover
part,
stuff and then they'd bury it again.
yeah. So the most compact, the hardest part is the bottom of the driveway, because you shovel it, and then the plow comes by and packs it back in. So he was literally like fighting with them, and he was quite angry. So we were talking about how we really got to get some kind of snowblower. I said when the spring comes or whatever, I'll look. I'll help him out, and I'll share it with him and whatnot. And so I'm going along. I'm doing the driveway. I have a decent sized driveway, and a nice sized sidewalk to shovel. You have to at least make a path. Don't necessarily have to do the whole sidewalk, but you got to make a path. So I'm going along. I'm like halfway done with the driveway, and I'm like, God, this is gonna take me freaking forever. My other neighbor next door on the other side of me, he waves over to me, and he's like, "Hey, you want some help over there?" I'm like, it was almost, it's like, it's almost like you're being attacked by. You're in a fight. You have all your guys, and you're the last soldier standing, and you're like, that's it. It's almost like you're at the Alamo. That's it. I'm done. I'm finished. And there comes the cavalry. He comes with a giant snowblower.
Oh, nice.
Does the sidewalk for me.
Nice.
As you said, you can't. I had to finish the driveway. I couldn't stop. He actually did like the half of the rest of my driveway, and then those things, even though you have a snowblower, right? He had a gas one. They're pretty heavy, so he was like completely like done. He's like, I can't push anymore. But if you want to use it, so he gave it to me. I finished the driveway using the snowblower, and then my other neighbor's on the other side, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Can we borrow that snowblower?
Well, he was already done. So
it's funny because that he may have saved your life that day. Because again, you know what a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say just guys, because this could be a woman too. But you get in that mentality when you're shoveling that if you just go deeper and get a bigger scoop of snow, you'll get done faster.
Yep.
And so you tend to push yourself to get bigger and bigger shovels, which make it harder and harder, and you have to lift more. And you just kind of psychologically kill yourself because you're trying to get it done faster, and you take bigger bites, and then it's heavier.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a snowball, no pun intended.
Yeah.
I kept putting it off. Like the last 5 years, we haven't really got much of anything. But the last storm we got about a month, whatever it was, about a month ago, a few weeks ago, was a bit. This one's even bigger than that one. So that's it. This spring to the summer, I'm gonna buckle down and buy a snowblower.
I bought one myself. A real quick short shout out to George King, 1972. Thanks for becoming a member of the show. Thank you very much. Tons and tons of content available for dirt cheap. So hopefully you'll enjoy some of that behind the scenes content that sometimes we don't want to fly some of the videos out there that we know won't do well for videos or for likes and hits because it's more controversial or a weaker topic. And but it's still really good information. So hope you enjoy some of that stuff on there as well. And yeah, I got a snowblower for the first time in my life last winter, and I'm glad. Even though it was a tiny one, I should have got a bigger one. Even in snowblowers, size matters.
That's what she said.
Right. So, all right, you wanna do your monologue?
Yeah.
All right.
So people always ask. I get messages. So this is what I'm smoking. Punch Diablo today.
How much does that thing weigh?
What?
It looks like a small child.
It's like a baby's arm.
That's huge, bro.
It's like a baby's
a big
arm.
one.
Yeah. I guess.
Shut up, Robin.
All right. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Monday night?
Always.
Juliana, Jackson, and my beautiful wife. Love you guys. Have a good night. Here we go. The story doesn't begin with blood. It begins with data, with records, logs, signals that don't raise their voice but never forget. Tonight, the spotlight falls on a lawsuit tied to Washington State University, a civil action on paper, a procedural dispute according to the language. But lawsuits are rarely just about what's written. They're about what was ignored long enough to become dangerous. Because institutions don't end up in court by accident. They arrive there after choices are made, after warnings are minimized, after silence becomes policy. And into that silence steps a phone analyst. Cy Ray doesn't chase rumors. He doesn't work in theories. He works in signals, how phones move, how they connect, how they don't. Phones don't lie. They hesitate. They pause. They leave patterns behind. And according to Cy Ray, those patterns tell a story that doesn't sit comfortably with official narratives. Tonight, Devil's Advocates ask the question no institution wants asked. What happens when technical analysis collides with reputation? When call data, timing, and digital behavior don't match the story that's being told? Is the WSU lawsuit about policy failures, or is it about containment? Because when systems feel threatened, they don't respond with transparency. They respond with attorneys, with carefully worded statements, with distance. And when analysts like Cy Ray speak up, people trained to hear what others dismiss as noise, the reaction is rarely curiosity. It's resistance. This isn't about declaring conclusions. It's about pressure points, about where facts strain against narrative, about what becomes visible when you slow the tape down and listen closely. Tonight, we're not here to accuse, we're here to examine, to pull apart what the data suggests, what the lawsuit reveals, and what the silence around both might be telling us. Because the truth doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just rings, and no one wants to answer. Welcome to Devil's Advocates. We don't take sides, we take things apart. And nothing, especially powerful institutions, is off limits. And with that, live from New York, it's Monday night.
All righty. Pitter patter, let's get at her. I'm excited about the show. I wanted, are we covering the case of the overdose YouTuber whom joined a panel of friends but left early and died in her sleep? I didn't hear this one.
Me either.
Yeah.
By the way, did you hear the other YouTuber that recently died? Was she YouTube or just other social media? The 27-year-old that died from plastic surgery, hypoxia. That was
Nope.
in the New York Post as well.
No.
Kind of bombshell 27-year-old female that had like done herself up in plastic surgery all over the place and looked like $1 million, but died from the surgery. It's a common side effect of plastic surgery.
Wow.
And she was a major social media, I guess, and died of that. So I didn't hear about this other case we need another case. Like we need a hole in the head. Again, we do like to talk about things. So
I think that's a bot or something. I don't think that's a real post. That's weird.
It even says GeoBot.
It says GoBot. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not.
Let's take the potential bot off the screen. I wanted to talk about a very big topic tonight. I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I feel like I'm just going to kick us right off into Idaho 4 for a minute. So the question keeps getting asked to me: can Cy Ray testify in the civil trial of WSU versus the families, and violate the gag order in the criminal trial? So I wanted to talk about several things real quick as a panel. One, can Cy Ray testify in the WSU case? What scenario would that happen in? The scenario would happen in this: if WSU were to say, maybe Brian Koberger didn't do it because it cost us $500 million to admit that he did, or maybe Brian Koberger didn't do it alone because it cost us $500 million because it did, and maybe Cy Ray has the key to the puzzle that proves that Brian Koberger didn't do it or didn't do it alone. Therefore, we want to bring in Cy Ray to give the opinion that he was never allowed to give in the criminal trial. Now, here's the problem you're going to hate hearing. The only way Cy Ray can violate that gag order is if the judge himself, Hippler, says it's okay to do so. That judge still has ultimate authority on whether Cy Ray is allowed to talk or not, even in this case. That's the horrible reality. If you believe Hippler was corrupt in the way he handled that trial, more than likely he wouldn't allow Cy Ray to testify in this. Now, having said that, if they wanted to call him, they can put pressure to have the judge explain what is the reasoning for why he won't allow Cy Ray to talk, and that maybe get difficult for him. So they can put pressure on it, but the ultimate decision about whether Cy Ray can be lifted from the gag order will fall to Hippler.
Right.
So that's part one I wanted to talk about. What do you guys think about that part?
It sucks.
I think that's what it's going to take. It sucks, but that's what it's going to take is pressure. Some really hard pressure. To get Hippler to do one of two things: either lift the gag order or to announce his reasoning. Now, if it's due to a federal issue, that's going to be pretty hard to override. But at that point, he at least has to tell him, hey, I can't do it because of X, Y, and Z. So, and by the way, real quick, thank you, George King, for the membership.
Yeah, and it looks like Dago handed out. Did you hand that out, Dago, on your side for some memberships on your side?
No, I handed them out on your side.
What?
Oh, thank you.
What? What the hell are you doing, man?
What?
Now I feel like
thank you.
Man. Well, thank you so much. That's amazing.
Of course, there's no big deal, but of course you got to spread it around, guys. Share it out a little bit.
Yeah,
I gave out mine today.
I agree with him.
Says a federal judge telling Cy to talk would probably override Hippler. And that I mean, I think realistically that's the case, right? I mean, it would be a hard sell for Hippler to say, despite everybody wanting him to talk and despite the fact that he might have key information, he's just not allowed to talk. It would be a hard sell, I think, for Hippler to try to stand behind that. It's just, and I may be wrong, it was just my understanding from doing some quick research on that question that Hippler ultimately would have to agree to allowing him to do that. Or he could give another thing Hippler could do is give a limited, Cy Ray can talk in limited fashion about it. Now, here's part of the thing you have to ask yourself, and this is part 2 of a 3-part question tonight. Why does Hippler want Cy Ray gagged? And why is he not? Because if it's over, if it truly is over, why does he want to? And I would argue here's the reason: it's not truly over. What people I think don't understand, and I had to educate myself a little bit about this as well. That's what I want to talk about mostly tonight: is post-conviction relief. Now, there's a difference between waiving your right to appeal and Brian Koberger still has post-conviction relief available to him, including ineffective counsel, coerced into a plea deal that he wasn't supposed to take, didn't understand what was happening to him. Those are all options in post-conviction relief. And let me tell you what the best scenario for Koberger is, and it'll shock the shit out of you. His entire plea can be vacated. One of the options of post-conviction relief is a vacating of his entire plea deal. Your plea deal is null and void. And then they'll have the option retry him, or let him off the hook and say you can't retry him because exculpatory information came out during that post-conviction relief, and he didn't do it. So,
and I think if you look up post-conviction relief, like if you just like Google it or look it up, I think it says like one of the big things. As you said, there's a bunch. One of the main, well, I wouldn't say main, but one of the ideas with post-conviction relief is having an expert test, like that wasn't allowed.
Wasn't exactly what one of the things that would lead to a vacating is when an expert witness was not allowed to testify, which is exactly what we think, at least here on this show, happened. Cy was the expert and was called a conspiracy theorist and not allowed to testify. So that would be a strong grounds for post-conviction relief of it wasn't a fair trial because the expert in the case wasn't even allowed to talk.
Especially considering that what he had to talk about could have exculpated Brian. And at that point, they didn't even allow for that to happen. So
no, I personally think there's Brady violations out the ass on this. I think there's several Brady violations where they hid information from the defense that would have led to it not even going to trial.
Yeah, I mean, that document, again, we've talked of a few times. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't believe Ashley Jennings. I think she said, there's a document there that said they got 3,800 timing advance records. So you got 3,800 timing advance records of everyone in the area. But the person that you accused of the crime, you don't have his timing advance records?
Right.
It's such a lie.
Well, not to mention they had Maddie and Xana's as well for the investigation, but you didn't have his. Stop. And again, to clarify what Tomboy just said is that's a truth, guys. That Cy's not under a court-educated gag order. He's under a personal gag order until his stuff is unsealed. He's not taking any chances of getting any lawsuits or any other issues hitting him because of his reputation, his background, and he's protecting himself all the way around until he can absolutely say something, and then that's why he's not doing it right away.
And I don't want to say you're wrong or you're right about that. When I was doing research on it, the research I found was that it is still in effect, that his gag order is still in effect. So I don't know. Now I have to find out for sure, because when I did a research on it, his gag order was still in effect, that he was limited from saying what he can say. So the question is he self-limited, or is he? I think he's still
could be correct.
It's probably going to be connected together. I mean, once his documents that have to do with him are probably, if they were released, there would be no reason really to silence him.
I read it the way I read it is that's how I understood it, was that when the court gag was lifted, that his was lifted, but he was under something separate. The way it's hard to understand. So if I misspoke and I'm wrong, I do apologize. I'm
not sure. I read it a little differently, and I'd have to read it again. So now it's the $1 million question. What we should do before we get together next time is get it definitively.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is it self-imposed, or is it imposed by the court that he can't talk until? Right. Because from what I understood, Hippler has to actually remove that piece. And in fact, here's the way it works. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Every single thing that Hippler sealed does not automatically become unsealed at the plea deal, the judge has to unseal every single part, H1. And I don't believe he unsealed Cy Ray's gag. So I don't know. We'll see.
And then real quick, thank you, George King, for that membership. That was awesome of you. Very, very generous. And it looks like Wise Lady Young Mind received it. Welcome to the sauce. What I understood is what Twiz said over there was that Cy could always talk. He wasn't under like the same gag that everybody else that was into that gag was under, because he was an expert. But he couldn't talk about any evidence or any reports because those were still sealed. That's what I thought that meant.
Right. Okay. So that makes sense. So that's a little nuanced, right? It's like he could talk. Yeah. What is he going to talk about if he can't talk about the case?
Right. Yeah.
That's how I took it, and that's what I was trying to explain.
Yeah,
so if I didn't,
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, the thing is this is I have to say this every time we talk about him. He could have spoke the day that he was on Zoom that Ann tried to get him to speak, and Hitler
Yep.
absolutely axed that right away. If you didn't notice it, he would not hear it. He would not
Nope.
see it. He would not even allow the thought of it to happen that day. And I think there's a reason, folks. And that reason, in my opinion, is because Hitler knew that if Cy would have spoke that day, it'd have blown everything up right there. That'd have been the end of it. So
Yeah.
that's what my feelings are.
Jenny,
Jenny
Jones, thanks for becoming a member. Yeah, I saw that.
Yes, welcome to the sauce, Jenny. Congrats, and wonderful to have you here.
Yeah, and that's but here's the thing though, you have to wonder. So stopping a witness from testifying because it will derail the trial just leads you to wasting a bunch of time and money when it gets an appeal and they end up speaking anyways, and then undid everything. But a cynic would say that's more money. Like
Sure,
money
yeah.
flows into the state to fight a prosecution, and it flows to everyone. It flows to the police department. It flows to out of the coffers into supporting all kinds of stuff in the prosecution. And so if there is an appeal and a conviction, that's more money to fight the appeal, and it's just money generating. So maybe in the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I don't care if it gets appealed. It's still more money, and we'll be kept employed for quite a while.
Yeah, and you guys can go check out his that's another truth, his YouTube channel. He talks a lot about things, and he doesn't say things directly, but he drops little
hints,
things for you to grab hold of and kind of understand. So it would be a good idea.
We have said on this channel multiple times, again, just to reiterate for anyone that's new, I will double down, triple down, quadruple down. I'm not a law expert in the court, but as far as my understanding, Hitler abused his power. It is not up to Hitler to decide whether Cy Ray should testify or not. The defense had more than enough adequate credentials to show that he is an expert in the field. So it's not for Hitler to say, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. That's what's a bunch of bullshit. It's up for either the defense to cross-examine or get their own expert to go against whatever he says.
At a minimum, it was the prosecution who could have objected to Cy Ray. And then the judge should have heard the argument why they don't think Cy Ray, like the prosecution should have made an argument. Cy Ray shouldn't talk, but it seemed like Hitler just on his own said, no, we don't need Cy Ray to testify. And it's like, that's not, like you said, it's not your fucking job to do that.
Yeah.
Like, the prosecution should complain, and you should hear an argument, and you should decide whether or not they made a good enough argument why he shouldn't. And you didn't do any of that. You just said, I decided Hitler's not
like I don't that's what I don't get, because it's not like Cy Ray's not like Joe Schmo at a hot dog stand, that they pick up. He has the credentials to prove and not only does he have the credentials that he has a company and how many cases has he testified? And yes, this was
500 and something cases. Yeah.
This is the first time he's testifying for the defense, not the prosecution. I think, it's worth hearing what he has to say and let the prosecution argue against it.
I think all day long they have, and so here's the part I want to make sure people don't, because I don't know if this is widely known. I don't remember exactly when sentencing was. Wasn't it August of 2025 for Kohberger?
June. It was in June or June or July, I think.
July.
Yeah, July.
Okay. I think the trial was set for August, so I kept thinking that it kind of happened right around the yeah. So here's the other thing. Idaho has a statutory limitation on post-conviction relief of 1 year of sentencing. So we're on a ticking time clock. So everybody was talking about the ticking time clock of 40-something days that Kohberger had to change his mind about his appeal. He had 45 days. And when that came over, a lot of people said, well, we're done. He's outside his 45 days or a 42-day or whatever it was. I think it was something weird number like 42. But what they weren't factoring in is he has up to a year after sentencing for post-conviction relief. So we're on the clock. And now we have to wonder, are they preparing something? Is the defense for Brian Kohberger in the background preparing post-conviction relief arguments right now?
And bingo, I was just going to add to that and say, if you think about it, since Judge Dippler did not give them a continuance and anything else that they would try to receive to get any help whatsoever, he didn't act like a judge on this. 1 year would be a decent amount of time to be able to build the rest of what you need to put something out there worth something to defend this man and possibly clear his name. I'm not saying it's enough, but it's definitely more than what they would have gave him.
Right. And again, I'm not an attorney, so I wish I would have my attorney friends on right now to ask this question. But if I were an attorney, I would use up almost every single day of that post-conviction relief time to make my case as strong as I can before I filed it. Because again, you don't want to go in there early. And like, if they're still looking for alternative suspects or they're looking for that proof, that nail in the coffin proof, even if they had it right now, they might be like, let's make it as airtight as this can be. And we'll file on the next to last day that we can file for post-conviction and go, hey, by the way, we're appealing. But I would take every minute to make sure all my ducks in a row, and then I would file that sucker. Again, that's if your client is okay with sitting in jail for a year waiting for his post-conviction relief to start.
But, and if you think about that, Lee, which with what you just said, I was just getting ready to throw something out there like that. Sitting in jail for the period of time that Brian sat in jail so far, as compared to what could have happened, is nothing if they're doing something. And because I'm telling you guys, I'm going to make a proposition here. If I'm wrong, then you can throw as much crow at my face as you want. That's fine. But I truly and honestly am very comfortable saying that I think there's going to be some bombs that are going to start dropping in this case here, and leading in the direction of an appeal coming from him as well. So just remember where you heard it, and it's February 23rd, and I'm telling you guys, it's coming down the road. In my opinion, I have a very strong feeling about this. So.
Yeah, so I just want to reiterate for Crime and Chaos, does he have 1 year? What we're talking about is in Idaho State, where this conviction appeal or the plea deal happened, a convicted person has 1 year to file post-conviction relief arguments. So yes, he has 1 year, which started, I guess we're saying July sometime, or was it June? You said sometime?
I think it was at the end of June or July,
Yeah, so he'll have 1 year up to that time and again, nobody even has to know that it's in the works right now. They could be kind of silently working on this in the background, ready to file it. But.
Yeah, that's right. In my opinion, Lee, they wouldn't. I don't think they would tell the world what they're doing right now, because you're not gonna tip somebody off if you're strategizing to win a game of any sort like that. It's what they're doing. In my opinion, the only thing they would put out is what they have to put out. I'll just put it that way. Okay.
The real question becomes, is there any potential so this is a hypothetical. Is there any type of partnership in which the defense of Brian Kohberger, secretly perhaps working on a post-conviction relief file, could be seeing this lawsuit at WSU and going, hey, during that trial, ask this question that didn't get brought up at our criminal trial. Ask this question that did, and say, here's where the holes are. I already did the work. I can tell you what happened. And they could go to WSU, and WSU would be like, hey, you just saved us $500 million. So you're like,
you want to know what I found out today? Go ahead, Robin.
WSU would be stupid to not take that kind of help. Like seriously. And it would serve two purposes. Not only to help with their court case, but also to help potentially with Brian's, because when stuff is brought out, it could potentially help Brian's, appeal.
Yeah.
So,
here's a question though. Now, what happens if the year does come up? Like the year comes and goes, so there's no more 1 year for post-conviction
There's still
relief.
other options.
But and it still comes to light somehow. Let's just say, for whatever reason, let's say it's 2 years from now. Finally, we get the info from Cy Ray, and it's actually proved that BK he was not at the house, and he was somewhere else, and he could not have done the crime. Then what happens?
He would still walk, because again, you can't plead guilty to something you could not have done. If it can be proven that Brian Kohberger wasn't there when the murders happened, then he would walk, because you can't plead guilty to something you didn't do.
Yeah, and they can't hold you to that either. And I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you were gonna say?
I was just going to say thank you, Amanda. Amanda's like handing out memberships left and right here. Thank
Yes.
you.
Throat lozenges. Yeah, thank you.
I learned today because I was misunderstood. I'm completely misunderstood. Brian Koberger's on a witness list for this WSU lawsuit. Okay, I figured and thought that it would be the defense. It is not. It is the plaintiff's witness list, folks. So, hearing that and seeing that,
We're like, Robin and I are like, what?
That's exactly the
Hey,
face
what?
that I made. And I said, do you guys, in my show I was talking about, I think when you were in there and when we talked about that for a little bit,
Yeah.
I said, do you guys, I hope they don't think that this man is going to sit and testify for them on the side of the plaintiff, because no. But then I thought about something like, wait a minute. If it would be interesting if they got him to testify for the plaintiff, and think about how that would work out, you guys. Just think about it for a minute. If their attorneys come forward and bring up these things about him in this school, and they're going at him, we know that they're using him, okay, and they're using the school to go at him for this. But think about how that would look if Brian were to testify for the
I am.
plaintiff side to this, and break that down in your mind for a minute, because I
am.
I am.
Okay.
All I'm thinking is, what if Brian testified on behalf of the family? Yeah, I did kill all your kids, and I did it on purpose, and I did it myself, and like, then you're like, what the fuck was this? I can't imagine.
Well,
I don't think it would go that. I don't think it would go that crazy.
No. Here's the thing: Brian didn't speak at all. Remember that?
Right.
Not a word.
Right.
Not a word did he say. Right. I think Twiz caught on to what I was saying. He said he could tell his truth. Truth.
Yeah.
And it can't affect his plea deal at all. It's actually an amazing situation if you think about it. And I didn't think about this till like later on in the show afterwards. I was sitting here going, wait a minute. And things started clicking because I'm a little slow. Sorry. It could work in the opposition to what the plaintiffs think. They think, and Brian's super smart.
Yeah.
We already know this, okay? The man said not one word during his hearing or anything. He didn't say a word. Not one thing. And if all of a sudden the man sat up and spoke and decided to testify for them and tell his truth, because nobody allowed him to speak about anything,
right,
and drop what actually he knows, if he knows any of it at all, or what he believes, holy shit, do you realize what could happen with that?
But that's my problem, Dago. There's no way in hell, in my mind, the prosecution would make a mistake of putting him as a witness, because then he could be crossed by the defense, and it would be.
But he's on that list, Lee.
It stuns me. I can't see any scenario in which that makes sense for the families to put.
But it would be brilliant for him, because then he could be like, look, I would, I'm under oath, so I'm going to tell the truth regardless of what that truth is.
Yes.
Why would they do that?
Depending on whatever he says, it would be pretty damn hard to refute that, really.
Now, one more thing was just said. That's exactly it, Robin. Twiz just said bingo right there. Look at that right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I said
they want him to talk.
And thank you. And I said this when this lawsuit dropped. I said, this is either a money grab, it's going to get thrown out, or maybe they file this lawsuit because they want that discovery so they can actually maybe get some real truth. Well, gee, what better could we do than to put the man that we believe is the murderer that didn't say a word on the witness list and put him on the stand and make him testify? That blew my mind when I thought
that's some fucking deep level chess right there.
It is very deep.
That's insane. I can't fathom it right now. But
now I really want that thing to go to court.
100%. And if it doesn't happen, guys, I don't want you guys to get super excited, okay?
No.
But this all broke down to me when I was sitting in my stream, like, wait a minute, why the hell would they put him on that list instead of the defense list, so on and so forth? But yeah, 100% what Twiz just said. This is real deal 5D chess, folks.
Yeah, I mean, that's
maybe
like,
the G's have known what they're doing the whole time.
Deep fucking thing. It makes you, my brain can make that some deep fucking shit about.
Yes.
I mean,
As soon as
And
I saw
all they
that,
would have to do is say WSU did want to settle. All they'd have to do is keep rejecting their offer
mhm.
to force it into court.
And see, that's the thing, Robin. I don't think WSU is going to settle because they're going to, if they settle,
No,
it's gonna bang their reputation. Okay.
Yeah.
right,
And they can't afford to have the reputation squashed. It's a university. They have to have the utmost, be the
Right.
best. So at that point, my mind is upside down with this, guys. I'm telling you, that would be some insane shit. Because I was like, oh yeah, Brian's on the witness list for the defense, figures that, blah blah blah, and it said no, it's for the prosecution or for the plaintiffs, and I went, what? And then it triggered after a while, and I was like, oh wow. So if it works out that way, holy shit. And I
yeah.
think that's
Steve
where
wants
everything
that
is going to
trial.
implode. Sorry, go ahead,
Steve
Robin.
wants that trial. No, that's
He
all.
does.
That's
So
all I was going to say.
yeah, the only way I can at the moment logic this out, and again, this is fucking some maybe I'm not a good enough chess player, but the only way that can even remotely make sense to me is if one or more of the families knows that Brian Koberger wasn't the only guy that did it, and they think they can force the issue, and then they'll sue Idaho, and they'll sue Bill Thompson, and they'll sue MPD when
Right.
but I'm like, oh my god, the gamble on that though, that's too, it almost seems ridiculous
Right.
level of complexity.
You know how upset Steve was about them taking, even offering the plea deal. Like
Yeah.
he was like furious. He
Yeah.
wanted that thing to go to. He wanted the trial because I
Yeah.
do agree with you, Lee. I think he does think that there's more than just
Yes.
Brian involved in this.
Oh,
I've always thought
absolutely.
he thought there was more than one person involved. Yeah.
Now,
And every time he does an interview, he triples down on bashing Thompson. So
what if
Yeah.
what if Brian does testify? He didn't speak a word during his hearings or any of that stuff. We know that again. But what if what he says produces new evidence in his case? Okay.
Right.
Which in turn gives him even more leeway to get a retrial or whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay.
But what if it's this? So what if it's this? what if Brian Koberger was involved with other people? Is this just a way of like, because again, what I'm thinking is this. In my gut, I feel Steve Gonzalez believes that Brian Koberger did it. I just don't think he believes he did it alone.
Wow.
So I don't think that Steve Gonzalez would push a scenario that would accidentally let Brian Koberger get away with murder, because I think he does think he did it, but I think he did it with other people. So if the long game is, I want you to throw everybody else under the bus and get them all, but you're still going to go down for it because you're still going to say you had a part of it, and it's not going to change anything for you. I mean, accomplice to murder is accomplice to murder, whether you did not, kind of thing. So is it just a matter of fishing out the rest of the people, and still with it's going to not exonerate you? You're still involved, but at least you get to get the rest of the scumbags thrown away too.
Well,
or I don't know.
Maybe that could be the beginning of it, and then the rest of his part, if there is a part, he could take that back to trial and break that all down himself if he presents new evidence during his testimony. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it reopens the case in that aspect. If that's what I'm saying, like, what if his testimony, sure, we're looking at this, that Brian did this with accomplices and so on and so forth. We, like you said, it fishes them out, so on and so forth, whatever. Okay. Then that's done. That new testimony of his brings new evidence, in turn could flop his case if they go that direction, if you know what I'm trying to say. In turn, he could take that back to court, actually have a trial, and then prove that he had nothing to do with it in that aspect at that point. Does that make sense?
My brain hurts.
I get it. So does mine. It hurts really bad, but I'm just telling you, I can see something like this happening. And I can also see nothing happening. So don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's very interesting what could happen with this, guys.
Right.
Right.
And I want to address this because I know that I make people upset when I even hint that Brian Koberger could have been involved. So let me try to clarify what I just said, which is that I think Steve Gonzalez thinks Brian Koberger was involved. And I'm not saying that I necessarily think Brian Koberger is involved. I will reiterate something I said. The very first thing I said was The first thing I ever said in this case was, what if Brian Koberger was the getaway driver? What if he didn't go into the house? What if he literally just picked somebody up or dropped somebody off and somebody did it? So there's always been in my mind that Brian Koberger didn't do the murders, but he was somehow culpable, even if it was just dropping somebody off or picking somebody up. And again, law enforcement went, well, we can't go after the person who really did it because we killed him. That's one scenario. So we'll go after the next best thing, the driver. Because we know the driver was there. So I've always wondered if, but again, there's not even. And to Bethany's point, is it Bethany? Anyways, to Beth and Shermy's point.
Sorry,
who's on this? There's not even good evidence Brian Koberger was there as a driver. So I'll concede that as well. There's not even good evidence Brian Koberger was there as a driver, much less as the killer. So I agree with you on that.
Or maybe they'll use this, like I said, take it to trial and then say at that point, you show me how Brian Koberger did this now. And at that point, they've had a year plus or whatever to pull out whatever they need to do to prove that the man had nothing to do with this at all. And if they have some kind of new evidence that is a bomb, it'll just overturn the case. And that's the end of it. So it could work out any of those ways, in my opinion. I just think it's insane.
Let's look at this question. So Patty's saying, okay, so Brian Koberger is on the witness list, but wouldn't his testimony be limited to just speaking about his employment at WSU?
It depends, because if you think about it, he's on the plaintiff's witness list, so they could use anything they want in effect to go after WSU and point out anything about him, in my opinion, to attack them for him, if that makes any sense. Okay. So yeah, in my opinion, I feel like they would open up a lot of doors and probably pull discovery for that kind of stuff, even with his testimony, if that were to work out that way. That's how I would see it.
And I want to try to get 2 points out. I hope I can hold them on my head because they're very different points. Point number one, while they could limit what he can talk about, we all know that a clever lawyer on cross can get somebody to trip up and say something that allows them to. You get to open new avenues if you can get somebody to trip up. That's one of the reasons why you never fucking put somebody on the stand if you don't know exactly what they're going to say, because they might be limited in what they can talk about. But if you get them tripped up, and by the way, that's exactly what Ann Taylor said she wanted to do with the alternate suspects. When he said she couldn't bring alternate suspects up, she said, "Can I cross-examine the police department? And if they in the cross-examination flub up and allow an opening, can I bring it in then?" And he said, "Yeah, if you can get them to flub up on the stand." I'm paraphrasing. It wasn't done in that exact language. But that was basically what she was asking. Is like, if you're not going to let me bring in alternate suspects, can I interrogate the police officers? And if they screw up and say something that brings my alternate suspect to the foreground, can I then bring them up? And he said, yes, if you can get them to say something that kind of like opens up that line of questioning, then you can do that. And I was surprised that she didn't take that option. The other thing I want to say before, because somehow I managed to keep it in my head, just because someone's on the list of witnesses doesn't mean they're going to call them. So people it's notorious for them to list a bunch of people that anybody they might even possibly call. And the actual people who get called might be much different. So let's not completely freak out about Brian being on the list, because there might be a reason why he's there, but they never intend to put him on the stand. So that could be a case too. But
Michelle F asked, are they trying to get Brian to dig a big hole? Was that your question to me, Michelle? Or was there something else? Oh, there it is up there. I'm sorry. Could they be doing that with Brian, with it being, it is federal, folks, by the way. It was taken up to a federal level right away. With it being federal, remember Steve saying FBI said, don't worry, we could get him federal. I don't think so, because he's already there. That part of it's done. So I don't think they can like go after Brian at this point that way, because this is not about that. So I don't think they can flip this and try to trick him into getting Brian in a federal, because he's already convicted. That's done. Right. You know what I mean? So I don't think so, Michelle. I'm sorry, I just saw the question. My apologies.
So I will hold back the insult, the insult, which is you're playing checkers and they're playing chess. Like I'm an idiot. Okay. So I will hold back on the insult part of me just playing checkers because I'm too stupid to play chess. But look, I think I said the same thing you did. Maybe I'm too dumb to understand what you're saying.
You did.
I did, which is that this would open up them to countersue Moscow Police Department, Idaho. I listed that in my counter that this was, so I'm not sure if I'm too stupid to play chess or if the
statement may have been put out before you made your statement. I don't know, but no, you said exactly that in your own way. Either way, it's a very interesting situation. Scenario.
Sure.
Yes,
And I guess where I'm going with it, with all of it at the end of the day, is this is far from over. Again, the people who think it all ended with the waving my right off and now it's done, there's nothing can be done. There is still post-conviction relief, and that's probably more likely where that's going to get fixed if they're going to fix anything. That's probably where it's going to happen, is the post-conviction relief. Brady violations, exculpatory information that was not allowed to be done, expert witnesses that weren't allowed to testify that should have been able to, all of that is on the table, and really, really good arguments for post-conviction relief.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, and real quick, if you don't mind, this will take 3 seconds. I just want to show this piece of information while we're talking about Idaho real quick before I do forget to show this, because this blew me away when I saw this. This is dated December 19th of 2023. Okay, this is a press release. Moscow Police Captain Anthony Dollinger graduates from FBI National Academy. Anthony Dollinger is the chief of Moscow PD at this point, folks. December 19th of 2023. I just wanted to share that.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, wow. It's again,
somebody else moves on again.
The chess game. It's the chess game. Wow.
This case, I hate this fucking case. I'm telling you, I hate this case with everything in me. I can't look away. It's like the worst train wreck I've ever seen in my life. I cannot look the other direction, because
I mean,
every time I do.
On the one hand, you shouldn't hate it because it's a dream case for people who like mysteries. Because
that part I love about it.
Yeah.
That's probably why I can't look away. But on the other side of it, I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it. But this part I love.
Yeah.
Because there's always something like this that happens when you're like, what the hell is this? And
Right.
what? So
why couldn't we just have some damn transparency? I said it a million times. If it was as simple as an incel doing it, then why the need for the secrecy and the cover-ups and the lies and the fuckery and like, it makes no sense. If it was as simple as you said it was, why is this the most colossal fucking hidden case I've ever seen in my life?
Because it's just not.
Because it didn't happen the way that they said it did. That's
exactly.
That's my ultimate conclusion. It didn't happen the way they said it did.
Yeah.
I think Bill Thompson was stunned when the plea deal came through. Like, he actually pled guilty. Like, fuck, I thought we were going to lose this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Settle.
This is a disaster. A completely, constantly evolving disaster.
Yep.
But I can't, like I said, the mystery side to it, like Lee just said, I can't look away from this because I need, this is not a want. Okay.
No.
Please understand that. I need to understand what the period.
Yep. I believe Bill Thompson had announced publicly that he was going to retire after this case was over, and then signed on for another year. And I have to think that the reason he signed on for another year is because he knew this was going to come up for post-conviction relief.
Of course. Yeah.
And by the way, that's the other thing. Like, another reason for things not being 100% unsealed can be because the 1 year time frame hasn't worn out. So it may, like, Hitler may know damn well this is going to post-conviction relief fights, and so he's not going to unseal things that are going to hurt the upcoming post-conviction relief fight. So that's why things aren't unsealed, because he knows damn well it's going to be fought. But
yeah, of course. Dippler
will he retire? Do you think he will retire or move on or do something before it comes for post-conviction? Like, does he want to be the one to oversee it again, or does he want to get the hell out of there and let somebody else make the decision what happened?
It's really hard to tell that, because I've thought it both ways. One way, if you want to believe that, the whole, I don't want to lie to you.
I don't even want this case.
Yeah. Or if you look at the power that he carried through this case and the things he did, it makes you wonder if that was just a bullshit statement so that he could rule over this case and do what he wanted to, which is exactly what he did. So it depends on how you look at it, I guess. That's the only way I can say. It's crazy with a capital C and a capital Y.
I'm going to ask the question if nobody knows. Hold on.
Oh, this is interesting.
Chat GTB.
I'm asking when Stephen Hitler's elected term is up. Let's see. He is elected, I think, right?
He was, yeah. I used to know that. I can't.
So Idaho district judges are having 4-year elected terms, and his ends in. Elections happen every even-numbered year. Oh, Hitler was appointed from 22 to 26, or it says 24 to 28. Well, there's a big fucking difference. Which one is it? Ends in 2026 is the most probable cycle that he's on. So that means his term as a judge will run out before post-conviction relief runs out, right? Because it's going to run in.
Yeah.
It's going to run into. Or no,
well,
June 2025. It'll go through June 2026 for 1 year. So
it depends on what do they do at the start of the year, January of 26.
That's what I'm looking now too.
Because that's when they usually do their inauguration stuff, or not inauguration. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. It's curious because it sets up a scenario. May.
Holy shit.
He could literally choose to not run again just before the post-conviction relief option runs off the table.
By 1 month, 2 months.
By 1 month. That's
could. Insane. Yeah. That is nuts. I hope he does.
Would that be and what would that mean if he decides, you know what, I'm not going to run for re-election? Just before the post-conviction relief is thing. What would that mean? What would that signal?
That he doesn't want shit to do with this.
Because he didn't want to be there at all.
That he knows that it's all going to get exposed and that it's going to point right back to him in some aspects, and he's screwed. So get out while you can, just like everybody else does.
Chihuahuas in Crime says he heard. They heard it. Obviously, he or she says that they heard he's retiring next year.
Amanda said he's set to retire on January 4th of 27.
Oh, so that would take him. So that doesn't make sense because he would have to if this was right, he would have to renew for another 4-year term and then step down in the middle of that 4-year term, which they can do. They could do that, but a lot of judges are like, look, I don't want to step down in the middle of a term, so I'm not going to run for re-election if I can't finish my term out. But
yeah, Apache said January of 27 too. So
interesting. So. Well, he'll be busy if he has to fight the post-conviction relief.
Oh my God. This is why I hate this case. These things.
So,
wow.
So, Lee, someone brought up a question. It was something that Phoenix covered earlier. I don't know if you want to. I'll bring up the question here.
She read a document that said was Emily A. Lant. So Emily Lant told law enforcement she saw her photo on Dateline that they said was BK's. So she said Emily Lant was Koberger's connection, was the Koberger connection. Did y'all hear Phoenix tonight? She read a document she said was Emily A. told law enforcement she saw her photo on Dateline that they said was BK's. So she said EA was Koberger's connection.
I don't understand.
Well, no, I didn't see Phoenix talk about that, so I don't know the context for it. Yeah,
I didn't either.
Yeah,
Phoenix was in here earlier
in our chat.
Yeah, I swear I saw her.
There's another user that's frequently here that has Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix Rising, I think, was here earlier.
A different Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies. Yeah. I have to go check it out.
So I don't know. I don't know about that. That's something new to me.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Did we have anybody that wants to come up on the microphone? Let's throw some invites out there. Yeah. Invite guests, copy. Did we put that link out there? We probably have a couple times.
Yes, I did earlier.
Did you put it in
my side too?
I was gonna say, did you put it in the private chat so he can put it over on his side too?
Yeah, I dropped it over here.
Yep,
too.
I did.
So come one, come all, come up on screen, tell us that we're full of shit, or tell me something good.
Give us a good recipe.
Right. Tell us your shoveling snow story, something like that. Female. Chihuahuas and crime is female. I'll try to remember that. Thank you.
Someone on Discord sent me something interesting. that just came out on the 17th of February, apparently. They just sent this to me. You want me to share my screen? It's an article about how Idaho is not going to be sharing the history of police officers' employment any longer.
I have that in the background too. We talked about that on my show. That was crazy.
Yeah.
They're not going to show their employment history and stuff like that, or
Nope.
and their history and their career.
Remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Remember what we were talking about how people get in trouble for corruption, and then they're allowed to just retire so that they don't have to face.
Yeah.
That's it, right? That's why.
Yeah. So now they don't have to. Apparently, do you want me to put that up on screen or no?
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that blew my mind. I guess it shouldn't have, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Surprised, not surprised.
It's not what one put up on stage, is it?
No, I after Robin shows her thing, I have the document that Phoenix was talking about. It's like a 1-page document.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So can you see? Come on. Why does it never want to go on stage for me?
Do you have Cooper or Chapman's body cam from Washington State Patrol? I might. I have a bunch of body cam footage that I haven't seen or haven't watched all in. So Cooper or Chapman. I'll try to look for that. Senior Wazowski, if I pronounced it right. I'll try to look for that. Cooper or Chapman. I'll see if I've got that.
Senior is our other police officer.
Were they Pullman Police Department, or were they Whitman County, or were they what agency were they with? Because so far all I have is
I think it's
Pullman PD.
WSP, Washington State Patrol.
Yeah, I don't think I have Washington State Patrol body cams, and I don't have Whitman County's yet. I think I'm about to get Whitman County's body cam.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So this is from. I can put the link to the full article in the chat too. Idaho records exposed officer misconduct. Then the state decided to conceal them. This is from a magazine called, website, Investigate West. So, yeah. So, says Idaho's prison system and the state agency that certifies law enforcement will now conceal information about officers' employment histories, making it more difficult to scrutinize job candidates and ensure accountability for officers accused of misconduct. Yeah, isn't that lovely?
What the hell is Idaho's deal? They just flat out don't believe in honesty at all. Like it just seems like they're are they trying to run against Kentucky to be the most corrupt fucking state in the entire union? Or what?
I don't know.
Because they're starting to give them a run for their money, I think.
Yeah. Seems like. So yeah, I'll put that because it's a pretty lengthy article, but I just wanted to show that and this just came out February 17th. So
jeez.
Well, we know what happened when whoever that was that leaked the photographs of Brian in prison as a CO. What happened with him, and they just let him retire. He quit. I'm sorry. So he didn't have to face any legal consequences, which is absolute bullshit. Somebody needs to go to the Senate with that or legislation and say, no.
Yep.
I think just for the record, Kentucky probably still has Idaho for amount of fuckery, but yeah, it's a close call. So thank you, Sausage Biscuits.
So this is the document that Phoenix was talking about. It's sequence number 312. So can you guys see it, or?
Yeah,
I can see it on the screen.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't read it
on the screen. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's May 22nd, 2025. I received an email from Prosecutor Bill Thompson with a request for contact from what does it say? EA. Wanted to report her daughter. Oh no. Well, I think this is her mother actually.
Of course,
her daughter. Yeah,
yeah,
and one of her friends, whatever, saw photos of them on Dateline from the latest special in reference to the Moscow murders. I contacted whatever, on May 22nd, 2025, and she responded and stated she would be available on May 23rd, 2025, but I was not able to contact her on that date. On May 29th, 2025, I called, what does it say, L, and spoke to her by phone. Elle told me her daughter, so that's Emily A, watched the Dateline special, and when they were talking about photos of WSU students on Brian Kohlberger's phone, he was able to identify several of the photos of her and one of her friends as being photos reported to have been found on Kohlberger's phone. I asked Elle if I could talk to whatever, and she provided her phone. She told me the following. Emily, I believe it's supposed to be Emily, was a student at WSU in the fall of 2022 and was in class where Kohlberger was the TA. Emily was in class with her friend A, and A was interviewed by SP Detective Jacob Schwecke on March 2nd, 2023. I guess it's Emily told me she had never talked to Kohlberger during the class, but he did sit in close proximity to her. On a rare occasion, he would attend class. Told me she thought Kohlberger was socially awkward, but was not able to provide me any other information about this. So it's interesting. Is that connection? Is that how they got Kohlberger's name?
All right. So I want to answer this question from Turkey Creek, but I also want to comment on that. So let's leave this up on the screen for a minute. But as far as so that was one of the questions I asked about. Well, Kohlberger had pictures of classmates on his phone, and I'm like, and that doesn't lead to stalking behavior if you took a picture of a campus and one of 100 people in the picture is one of the people that oh, there it is. He's got a picture of me on his phone because I'm that third person in the back row over there behind that thing sitting at a table talking to somebody. He's got a picture of me on my phone. So a lot of this, when I heard this, they're going to make the argument in the WSU case that Brian Kohlberger had pictures of some of the people in his phone. I thought, if it's a classroom campus photo and somebody in the 100 of people standing in a picture is one of them, it's going to be a hard sell to say that's proving of stalking behavior. And I don't think he was stalking. And so anyways, the answer to the question, Turkey Creek Gal, what was the time frame of when the dead coyotes were put on people's doorsteps and blood on their window compared to when the murders happened? So I personally don't remember the exact dates of that. I do remember Buddy the dog was somewhere around in October that they found. And when they were looking into Buddy the dog, there was reports of other animals that had been found and that people were allegedly killing animals and leaving them places. So that was all prior. I think all of those stories and rumors, I feel like were October-ish and the murders were in November. So like a month or so before, but I don't know how long the history of dead animals went, but I think Buddy the dog story about the dog that went missing and was found flayed was in October, which was a month before the murders. So that's the best I can give you on my answer on that. You guys have a different answer or more detail on that?
No,
Yes, sir.
I think you're right though.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
Good questions. Any other questions, comments, concerns? We can move to a different case if we're done with this. Buddy was killed by a female juvenile. I can neither confirm. I can't. I know Amanda probably can because Amanda reads a lot of shit and she probably knows something I don't know. But I can't tell you who did or didn't kill Buddy. So I don't know that either. Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think if I remember right, Amanda showed there was something in a court document that did say something like the name was redacted because they were a juvenile, and on who. But I don't know if it was definitive proof that she was the one or if it was a suspect in the killing of Buddy. But I don't know. Buddy the dog was found skinned and filleted on October 21st, 2022, just 3 miles from where the University of Idaho students were murdered on November 13th. Yeah. So at least I got that part right. I knew Buddy was in October.
Jules did talk about that. I remember that now. That is correct.
What else do we got? Any other questions, comments, concerns? Do you guys want to move into a different case or wait until we see if we got a few more Idaho 4?
Whatever works for you. I'm good with any of it. It was a very interesting conversation on Idaho tonight for sure, though. Very interesting.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
When did Dylan download the new contact number before we hear the screams or after?
351 or no? Yeah, 351.
Yeah, I think it was 350. Yeah, that sounds right. It was
So
late.
She added the new number.
Yeah.
Right. So the screams that we hear were between 2:30, 2:27, and 3 o'clock, 3 something in the morning. So that would be after the screams, if that's all correct.
Yeah.
Good question. Good question. Love, and it's great to go back and remember the timelines of when things are done. So those are great questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I would like to get, talking earlier with Dago about it, I probably won't get it, but along the lines with more stuff from cell phone data, I would love to get,
all of it.
So I know you didn't really follow the Karen Reed case, Lee, but so one of the things is that the victim is with his cell phone. So Lana actually covered a whole big thing. How
I remember you, talking about the movement of the phone.
The movement of the phone, and when he arrives on scene, the phone. And then he's like making weird like comments and stuff, and the phone stops. So where I'm going with that, I would love to see since all of the victims, I believe, had iPhones. I'm sure that they have this info about the steps that they took. So I'd love to know, where like Dylan is saying she's in her room and this and that. If we were able to see the steps that they took, would paint the picture.
That would be big time to me. True.
By the way, just back on the Stephen Hippler thing real quick. I didn't see until just now. Amanda had actually sent me the website of all the judges and the announcement that Hippler is planning on retiring when we said it was, January 2027 or whatever. So she sent me the link to that, which I could show it on screen if you really wanted to know, but I'm scrolling through all this massive amount of judges to find Hippler's shining happy face so I can read it to you, but it's taking, there's a lot of judges on this page.
We got Birdie in the house.
Oh, what's up, Birdie?
It's way too logical, bro. Hey, I can always hope, right?
Right. Good to see you, Birdie.
A hip to the hop to the hip hop. All right. I'm just doing a quick peeksy. What I was going to talk about, but now that Birdie's here, maybe Birdie has a call. Shit, you can invite Birdie up. See if he wants to come up on screen with us while I'm looking for this real quick.
Will do.
Come on up, bro.
I'm just trying to find it real quick, and real quick is not how I do things. I talk quick.
No comment.
Dago, you and I'm telling you.
I'm just gonna leave that there.
There are things, things you can do for that.
So I couldn't find it, but do you need me to find it? To see Amanda's like, lady, you need me to find it, you fucking dumbass. Yeah, sure, go ahead. If you could find it, that'd be great. I was scrolling through all that whole thing. I couldn't find it.
Birdie says he has to be up at 3 or else 3 a.m. or else he would come up. Man, I don't have any of that, Birdie.
Yeah, no worries. Because then we'll get him up here and we'll be here all night, and I get it.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit, and I'm trying to stall just long enough for Amanda to get that link for us. Or I have the link. What I don't have is where on the page it's at. Like I literally searched for Hippler and can't find him on the page. So how could we not find him with this page search? All right, hold on one more time. I'll go for Stephen. It's PH, right?
Yeah.
Stephen Hippler. All right.
Yep.
There's Amanda popping in with something. Amanda says Stephen Hippler. Oh. Here we go. Wait a minute. I got to make sure that I don't have any unsavory things that nobody can unsee on my screen when I share it. Okay, hold on. There we go. That should do it. Put your back into it.
Yeah,
you can do it. Put your ass into it.
Make sure you close the midget tossing and
right. Well, I mean, we don't want to have to do that on screen. Do it live. All right, hold on. Let's do this. So just
Damn, I
for
thought I was the only one who
giggles.
watched that.
So here's this is all I was going to show. Stephen Hippler, a judge of Idaho 4, assumed office in 2013, and his term ends January 4th, 2027. He ran for re-election.
He's never had hair.
He's never had hair, yeah. There you go. So there you go. There you go. I don't know if this is official, but this is ballotpedia.org. And so there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. All right, let's talk a hair. Speaking of no hair, Hippler, let's talk about hair, about Letcher, Kentucky, if you will. So again, the case of Nikki Steins, who shot the judge, Kevin Mullins in the judge's chamber, that trial is coming up. But before that is the civil trial of Ben Fields, Sabrina Atkins versus Ben Fields. And in fact, tomorrow, if I remember right, Sabrina Atkins herself told me that Tuesday, which is tomorrow, they're going to be in court for a pre-trial hearing, of which it is possible both sides will agree to a settlement of some kind and not go to trial. If they go to trial in the civil case, I'm more than likely going to go back to that county. No, not to that county, because actually the trial will be in London, Kentucky, not in Whitesburg, Kentucky, or Letcher County. So I don't think. Actually, where is London? Is London in Letcher County? Now I don't know. I think it's in a different county. Anyways, I think I'm going to go back and attend that trial if they don't settle, but they may settle. One of the things I want to say diplomatically is, as I've been talking to locals in this case, there's so much corruption in the county. Alleged corruption, I should say. I'm pretty certain it's corruption. Like it's to me, it's more than alleged corruption. I can see what I believe is proof of corruption, but there's a lot of alleged corruption. And the problem is that the further we get into that story in Letcher County, it goes back generations and generations. It involves money. It involves a small number of families who own the system, the pharmaceutical company, the pharmacy that doles out drugs to the inmates, so that they cash in on every step of the process of incarcerating people. That whole system is extremely hard to break down for people. And there's a ton of abuse of human beings, trafficking. It's way, way beyond just the story of a sheriff who shot a judge. And so I'm doing my best to get my head around what to present to our audience, because we're a true crime channel focusing on certain limited things. And yet I'm getting drug into the biggest rabbit hole shitstorm of a county I've ever seen. It actually puts Idaho to shame, I think, in some regards. But just to let you guys know, I'm talking to people, and those people want their story to come forth, and I may or may not be the best platform for their story, because their stories go way beyond Mickey Steins. They go way beyond Kevin Mullins. They go way beyond even Ben Fields and Sabrina Atkins. And so I'm working with Jody from the Defense Rest. I just talked to her today, and one of the things I told Jody is, I know Jody wants to go way deep down the rabbit hole in areas that we may or may not go. So I really encourage you, if she's not here right now, I don't know if you've seen Jody in the chat, but if you're not following the Defense Rests channel, make sure you follow her, because she will likely cover areas of the story that I may not cover in the main channel. I may, though. What I told Jody today was, I'm going to be focusing on the court documents and the court cases of Ben Fields and Mickey Steins. As things come out that inform those stories and what happened that day in the judge's chambers, we will be going down to those other bigger stories. But how far that down we go, I don't know. And I know Jody will go a little bit further on stories that we may or may not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you guys get any gist of what I'm trying to say with that stuff?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
So we're gonna focus a lot on the shooting, right? We're gonna focus a lot on the shooting of the judge and why it happened, to which I'm convinced Ben Stein's story relates to why the judge was shot. So that's why we're following Ben Fields. But how much further we go down that story is up in the air. I do not want the victims in that county who have been coming forth and asking for my help to think that I'm letting them down, because I do intend to research and keep on that. I just don't know how much this channel will appreciate going further and further into the weeds on that story. So just kind of letting you know where I stand on that. What do you guys feel about that case? do you have interest in this case? And if so, where does your interest lie in the Mickey Steins, Judge Mullins story? Anyone?
You're asking us?
Are you talking to us or the
I'm
chat?
talking to you guys. I'm talking to you.
Oh,
I'm talking to my
I'm like-
panel. Yeah. Was I not clear? Did I make it? Because they're all just staring at me like, okay.
Well,
What do you guys?
I mean,
feel? What do you guys feel?
I mean, it's super interesting. I mean, with the, no blood on the judge in the supposed the alleged shooting, right? Which is super crazy to me. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
It
almost sounds like you're saying it could be a witness protection.
I don't know.
I know.
I'm very interested in it. One thing that interests me is, since you were there at the courthouse and stuff, it's kind of makes sense to me with how close everything. Here we go again with how close everything was.
How tight the whole community is. Yeah.
But also with everything that's going on there, the way that Mickey Steins, his terror was palpable. When you watch that video of him,
he was afraid they were going to kill him. Yes.
Yeah. With everything you're saying, it's no wonder that he was absolutely terrified. And there is so much mystery to that. I want to see justice done, know, for one, but also just it is fascinating. It is a fascinating case. So yeah, I'm very interested in it.
I am too, and I want to make it clear, like, short of one and I jumping on a plane with flamethrowers and burning the whole fucking county down, I'm not sure if we could actually or Dago will be on the flight too. Like, short of us going down there and fucking, in suits and burning the place down, I'm not sure how to fix that much fuckery. But
right.
I don't want to also abandon the victims and not let their stories be heard. And so we're just constantly trying to figure out how we can best serve those victims.
We only have so many options for us on this end. That's the problem. Right.
Yeah. At some point, law enforcement over there has to take it up and do something. And we're hoping that the right law enforcement people will get involved and it'll finally break. Yeah.
And that's where the problem lies with that case. I like I said, I've been covering it since the day it started. And I was completely enthralled by how something like this happens, and it still enthralls me. And learning what we've learned, most recently on it 100%. I absolutely would love to do something to expose it, shut it down, end it, whatever you want to do. But like I said, our limitations are very close by. Okay, we can only go so far with certain things in our aspect of the world here.
Right.
But law enforcement in the very end has to be the one to take this over, like Lee just said, and it's up to them to step up to do their thing. And until they do,
I feel like we need our AI graphic artists to make the advocates team with flamethrowers and burning down convention. We need an image. Awesome. We need an image of the team in flamethrowers.
You can hear that, Molly.
There you go.
That's what we need.
That would be hilarious.
Maybe a collaboration between Amanda and Molly.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I forgot Amanda does.
Yeah.
And there's stories that I'm not telling and I won't tell tonight. There's stories. Let me tell you this. If you watch Defense Rest Team, you probably already know what's going on. But there is stuff going on right now, yesterday. Horrific things happened that I can't talk about tonight because as I told the girls, I have to vet these things. I can't just go to air with that kind of stuff. So I'm hearing things of horrific proportions, but I want them to know, if you're listening, if you're one of the victims out there who have reached out to me, I feel your pain when you ask me to help. You should know I'm the kind of person who won't go without receipts. And so I have to make sure I understand it fully and I can tell the story before I can even remotely do it. And I just heard about that. So yes, it's horrific. I got to leave it at that. I can't immediately act on things until I fully vetted it. So just to let you know, in case you're thinking, I don't want you to think that I'm letting you down. I'm doing whatever I can, but again, that stuff just hit me yesterday, and I can't immediately go to camera with that. What else do we got?
Right, because there are certain processes that have to be followed with anything like that. So
Right.
it's not that the caring isn't there, believe me, and we are always trying to figure out how best to help. So please do not think that we are abandoning this at all. So we are in your corner. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we have to follow rules too. So
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Some of the stuff we have to be extremely careful talking about.
Yep.
absolutely.
What else? Any other? We got about 30 minutes left, of which probably a good 10 minutes of that is our wrap up and good nights. Do you guys want to? I mean, I've dominated the conversation. You guys want to dominate the conversation for a while?
I guess I can throw this out. It's just a piece of information to sit on. But in the Nancy Guthrie thing, I guess they found another photograph of the same person they have on camera back in I think it was January.
Okay.
So he's been on that he's been at that house twice. So on camera at some point.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna be looking into that some more
Does
tomorrow.
it still look like the same guy
in the
that you saw
mask?
before?
Yeah, in
I
the
do
mask
believe.
and everything. Yeah,
I do believe.
I'm going to show
That's
something on the
crazy.
screen here. Oh yeah, let's not do that. Holy shit.
somebody
sent that to me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I'll be looking into that tomorrow to make sure it's true for sure. But my understanding,
What are we
Oh,
on?
shit.
Like 3? We're almost on 3 weeks now. We're going on 3.
we are on 3 weeks, 22
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, we are on 3. Yeah.
So this was updated 4 minutes ago. Where? How come I can't? Right here.
Yeah,
Suspect approached Nancy Guthrie's door the night before her appearance. That seems like that's not new, but it updated 4 minutes ago, and maybe it's something about that thing being earlier.
that might
too.
be it. Then I may have misread what I read.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking to see if there's something about it showing up before too. Because I mean, it's new information. So what's new about it? If it was just he showed up on, and is it a he or a she? He still, it kind of looks feminine there to me. Like,
I don't know. The movements made me think watching the video that it was a guy, but I mean, you never know. You never know.
Diego,
now
did
we
they
get a
give
man.
any? Was there any update on the searches? I know they were talking about that.
Nothing that I saw yet.
Yeah, they didn't connect it yet.
Mm-mm.
They,
So I'm getting
didn't they find a backpack?
That
but
was a
they
couple
didn't say
days
what was
ago.
in the backpack, right?
Nothing. Yeah, not yet.
oh yeah, they never tell you. It seems like.
I know, but I want to know.
The sheriff has still got me pissed off. So there's that.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
him.
We started calling him sheriff.
The videos that they typically Unique said the videos they released were 2 different nights.
Yeah, 2 different nights. So they're
Right.
saying that it was from 2 different times. Thank you, Kim.
So he was casing the joint.
Yeah, right. So what went on the first night, and
Yeah,
how did the second night end up being what it was? You know what I mean?
yeah. What night was the first night? Did they say the date?
I wasn't told.
Yeah.
Do you have that, Jim? Because I wasn't told that. I was just told that it was 2 different times. January 11th. Thank you, Rhonda. So January 11th and then January 31st. Or
Wow,
February 1st,
2 weeks
whichever way you take it.
beforehand.
Right.
Huh.
So
Why-
Maybe they were
Why
going to go.
not? Yeah. Right.
Maybe something happened the first time they couldn't pull it off, and so they came back. Wow.
I don't know if
Well,
this
now-
is a good idea or not, but I've got a little clip of that news story. I don't know if we'll get busted for playing CNN or not for a few seconds, but
No,
all
you won't. I play them all the time.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
so.
right, I'm going to play this.
Well, that would explain then why they were asking people to check their neighborhood cameras on the 11th. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we have breaking news into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. A source tells CNN that this image of the masked person seen on the doorbell camera footage of her home was taken at her doorstep on another night than her disappearance, a different night than her disappearance. In other words, he approached her home before the night that she was apparently abducted. We also have that separate footage that we have seen from the night that she was abducted. So now there is footage from 2 separate nights, is my understanding. Let's get right to CNN's Ed Levin.
So, I mean, there you have it. 2 separate nights. I don't know if we want to watch. You want to watch the rest of that newscast, or
I'm okay. Sure, if you want to.
Okay, you sure we're not going to get it busted for?
No,
playing
they
5
don't.
minutes
They
of
don't.
that?
I play them all the time. I never get
All
hit.
right. Am I still sharing the audio? I think I am.
Sarah from outside her home in Tucson with the latest on this. Explain what we've seen now, Ed.
Well, this is significant, John, because if you remember back on February 10th, the FBI director, Kash Patel, released those stunning, haunting images of this suspect approaching Nancy Guthrie's home in the middle of the night. And at the time, the FBI director said that these images and photos were captured the morning of her abduction. So, but this one photo stood out as we were all looking at it and have looked at it over the past week, because in all of the images and all of the videos, you see the suspect with the mask, the backpack, a holster around his waist that has a gun, and obviously the gloves. But if you look at this one particular image, which was in this batch of photos that was released by the FBI, there is that one photo where he's not wearing the backpack and he does not have the holster with the gun in it. So the question was, is that the same time? Was it a different time that same night, or did it come from a different day altogether? Now we've learned from this source that this was from a different day altogether. And the significance of this is that we have been reporting over the last few weeks is that investigators have been asking and canvassing the neighborhood around here, asking for video from January 1st all the way to February 2nd. And also on some very specific days, one in particular, we know that there was an alert that went out to neighbors asking for video between 8 p.m. and midnight on January 11th, nearly 3 weeks before Nancy Guthrie was abducted. So this might help explain why investigators have been so focused on the weeks before her abduction. And this also kind of gets to the question about whether or not this was just a random act. Was this something that was more targeted? Was there did the suspect canvass the area and get a lay of the land here in this neighborhood? A little bit clearer picture on how all of this unfolded now.
All right, Ed Lavandera, a very interesting bit of new reporting on this.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's definitely not just random if they were there twice. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just crazy.
It's something spook him or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Twiz was saying
had to happen.
it looked like he was looking into his phone about the yeah. I definitely, when he put the hand up, it looked like he was trying to cover the camera for sure, and I wasn't sure what he was doing with his other hand. But you guys probably know more about that than I do. I was asking the same kind of questions. I mean, it did seem like the hand, that the fist was in front of the camera to block the camera view, and he kind of came up to the steps with his head down so he wouldn't be on camera too, right? But
yeah,
not the greatest approach I've ever seen, though.
So
no,
that see, if she would have been hooked into a subscription service with that, and like they checked and they had alerts and alarms and stuff, this could have been prevented. Meaning, like they would have seen this before. Somebody would have. And she could have had extra security, things like that, possibly, and started locking doors, maybe, because I feel like that could be how they ended up inside her house, is that she just didn't lock her door that night. And unfortunately, especially the sliding glass door.
I have a question. Didn't they find a camera on top of the house?
Well,
do we know what that camera was?
There's other cameras behind the house.
Yeah, but there was one on the roof or something. There was a camera on the roof.
Yeah, I think there was one on the top edge of the roof there, on the pool house.
On the pool house. Yeah. I thought it was on the main house.
That I don't know of. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I was wondering what, because if it's on top of the house, it would have
Right.
to be a certain way so that you could. I mean, it would essentially just be looking at the horizon, really.
Yeah, in
So,
some senses, right?
yeah. Okay, I just wondered about that.
To Twiz's question, I almost got into this one night as well. The whole like, well, she didn't have a subscription, but somehow they were able to pull video anyways. And you're like, well, is this a semi-invasion of privacy
Yep.
that you're not even paying for them to record you, and yet they somehow can pull recordings off of your device? Now, the only question I have, because I have my own home security cameras, which I probably shouldn't announce because that way I can get the bastards unprepared. But anyways, the point being is that I have SD cards right in my camera. My camera will buffer stuff. I don't have to have a cloud-based storage to get certain amount of buffered things. So, but it sounded like they didn't get it from the buffered SD card. They sound like they got it from like Google Cloud or some shit.
Right.
Do you guys remember where they got the footage from?
I think
it was something.
they did.
It wasn't just a yeah.
I think they pulled it from a cloud type situation. Is what
Yeah, it was the
my
cloud.
understanding is.
Yeah, they got it.
Said that it holds up to about an hour. That's what they were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, if they're recording you when you didn't pay for them to record you, it seems like it's close to a violation of your privacy, right? But
I mean, yeah, if it came from Google servers,
yeah,
I don't know. Nest is probably like Ring, so
Yeah.
that's pretty creepy. I'll just say it that way.
I don't. It's been a while since we talked about it, but there was some lawsuits that came out of the Roombas that have the ability to take photos with their cameras as well. And,
Yeah.
I caught a picture of a woman on the toilet in her house and a naked picture of her kid and stuff like that, and being sent back to the servers at the company, and they're like, "I didn't give you permission to photograph me on the toilet in my house."
Boy,
that is some very well. I'm not surprised, but very weird, creepy shit.
Yeah.
Wait.
All right. Well, any other last thoughts? We're about the place where I start to wrap up my evening anyways. And hopefully we'll have I think we're going to have a full panel tomorrow because we should have JJ back and should have Logan back tomorrow. Any questions from anyone in the audience? And if we don't get a question in the next probably 30 seconds or so, then we'll start doing the round table and say goodnights and call it an evening. So I'm just looking to see if there's any last minute questions.
I guess I said that Nancy actually did buy that Ring camera. She did actually buy that herself. So yeah, that's or maybe I don't know where we'll have to double check that, but
who took Nancy?
That's Kim's question.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the question.
We're going on 23 days, guys. That's pretty wild to me. Still doesn't make sense.
It feels like it's been longer than that.
It does. It feels like it's been a couple months, truly.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I tell people, obviously, a doorbell camera, you can't really do much about that. But if you're going to have other cameras, make sure that they're out of reach. Make it difficult for people to break those cameras.
Yeah, because otherwise I'll just grab them and snag them, and yeah. Do you guys happen to know the typical? I was going to look it up, but maybe you guys know. Is there a industry standard for the number of days without proof of life before they start to tell you more than likely the person's not going to make it? Like, is there an industry standard that says if you haven't heard any or had any proof of life in 40 days, it's probably over, or 20 days, it's probably over?
I've always heard 48 hours.
Yeah, kidnapping, it's usually within the first few days. I mean, there's no, as far as we know, there's no proof of life, right?
Right. There hasn't.
No.
As far as I still haven't heard a single person tell me.
Nothing.
I ask almost every night we get together, is there proof of life yet? Nope.
I mean,
nothing.
That's usually some kind of proof of life.
2 days stretching into 3 days. I've heard is after that they don't expect anything good to come from it. So
yeah.
As a one quick thing that has nothing to do with anything, by the way, today I got in the mail my official drone pilot's license from the FAA. So I got a hard card. So I'm excited about that. Thank you.
Awesome.
excited for that. So now it's
Yeah.
official. All right, let's go around the horn. Let's go Robin, Dago, 1-1, and then myself for the close tonight. Let's say good evening. Good evening. All right, Robin, you're up first.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out, everyone. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel because there's all kinds of good stuff coming your way. And also, some true crime fans out there, make sure you share the channel. With these cases all popping off here pretty soon, Long Island serial killer, that's what I think it's like September. We've got the Luigi case, and of course, Idaho 4 with WSU. Who knows what's going on there? So you're not going to want to miss anything. Also, Lee is expecting back even more stuff on a lot of the body cam footage and other documents and things. So he's been doing a lot of live memberships members only live videos. I'll get it out yet. So you're not gonna want to miss that either. So for $2.99, you're gonna get access to all kinds of content. So, but whether you're here live or on the replay crew, thank you so much. We appreciate you more than you know. And I hope everyone has a wonderful night and that you're not too snowed in wherever you may be.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, I'm officially, I sent off a check for to pay Whitman County for body camera footage and stuff that they have prepared for me on my public records request. So I sent off the payment. They should have it in a couple days. It's apparently ready to be delivered upon payment. So I should be getting something soon on that. So
nice.
Awesome. All right.
Awesome.
Dago, what do you got?
Thank you all for joining us again. As always, a great show, great discussion, great people, great topics. Always enjoy myself here. It's always an honor to be here with these amazing people up here with me. And I appreciate you all very much for having me here. Thank you to all of the moderators in here tonight. You guys are all amazing, every one of you. Again, thank you to my producer, my videographer, and all of my mods, all of the advocate mods, all of you, every one of you. I hate separating it because I don't feel like it's separated anymore. But either way,
yep.
Thank you all of you, and thank you to everybody that joined us tonight. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much for jumping in here. This is my third show today. I just realized.
Oh man!
So thank you to all of you all day. I appreciate you all, guys. Please make sure you don't forget to love yourselves and love each other, and don't change a thing. You guys are the beautiful people, and that will never change. And we do appreciate each and every one of you guys, and love you all for being here and supporting us the way you do. So you all have an amazing rest of your night. Good night. God bless, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great one.
Exciting. And thank you, by the way, Dago, for your commitment to this show. Like when you came on, you said, yeah, I'll come all the time. And I'm like, and you have been a die hard. So thank you so much for your commitment to being part of this show. And you've made it something special for us. So we appreciate it very much.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. 1-1. What do you got?
Great show as always. Discussion. Thank you. Meatballs, denizens, any turtles that are here. Robin, Dago, Lee. Keep fighting for the truth. Thank you to all the mods from all the channels. Of course, Amanda, always our phone a friend. Always have the info.
She does feel like phone a friend. Yeah.
And like the tip, takes you like 5 seconds, and I don't know how you do it, but
that's hilarious.
Are you ready for the movie quote?
Hell yeah.
That I won't get. Yes.
Always.
Come on, Robin.
You're just here. Robin's just here so she doesn't get fined.
Yeah. All right. So we finish 18 and he's going to stiff me. And I say, hey, Llama, hey, how about a little something, for the effort, And he says, there won't be any money, but when you die on your deathbed, you will receive total consciousness. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
Honest
Oh
to
my
God, I
God.
have no idea.
And
Is
if
it
you
a
don't-
Warren Beatty movie?
No, if you don't, I'll give you
So the
another
18
quote.
is a reference to golf, right? When you're on the 18th, is it a reference to golf or no?
I'll give you the second quote.
Okay.
This is a hybrid. This is a cross of bluegrass, Kentucky, bluegrass, featherbed bent, and Northern California Sensimilia. The amazing stuff about
Caddyshack.
this. Hey.
I was thinking Caddyshack because of the golf
Got it.
reference, but I
Yeah.
still couldn't. Yeah, nice.
Actually, Tandy got it before I said it. Yep.
Yeah, when it
Yep.
was golf, I was like, it might be Caddyshack if I just guessed, but I didn't recognize any of the quote. But I was
No.
thinking,
Right.
Yeah.
As soon as you said the bluegrass thing, I caught it right there.
Nice. Caddyshack is a classic.
Yes.
Classic movie.
Very much.
All right,
I
thank
don't
you
have
for
lines memorized.
Thank you for that. All right, everybody. With that, we're going to call it an evening tonight. Thank you for coming and participating in another on a Monday night. I don't even think Monday nights are supposed to be a big deal. We had a nice, good audience, and we had a great discussion, and we talked about some surprising, shocking, possible 3D, 5D chess moves that may or may not be happening in the WSU fight. Wow. I'm going to have to think about that. I'm still playing checkers. So with that, have a great night, everybody. Take it easy. We'll see you next night.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys.